made of magic, soon composed by a spell consisting of small talk and sexual banter to culminate in bitter blood salted with tears. Black magic. I sat there crying. I thumbed the keys on the office piano and listened to the miserable twang of the strings in time with the steely rain that fell against the window. I thumbed through yesterday's paper for something new to be disgusted with, something other than myself. My eyes fell on a column reporting a missing person. Seemed a girl had vanished from her Louisiana home, daughter of a high-class millionaire, and the hunt was on for her. She was an important young debutante, up and coming, yet to be corrupted and mangled by the vice grip of the mechanical powers that be. This girl was fresh, malleable, soft, beautiful, and rich, and she was you, Melody Sterling. I looked up the father. Turns out the guy was loaded, and I mean to the gills, ready to bust loaded. He was so rich his money had money. He couldn't just afford to buy anything. He could afford to buy anyone. That kind of money is scary. Money's scary in all quantities, but when it gets together, it takes on a life of its own, starts walking and talking, starts pulling strings, it starts moving mouths and then hands and fists. And when the fists move, the press moves. And when the press moves, the elected officials move. And when they move, the money sits back and nods its head, sighs and smiles, and moves along nice and quiet like through the shadows, see, where no one's looking. And it stinks. This fellow, this Mr. Conway Sterling, father of Melody, wasn't just a fat cat. He was a morbidly obese lion. The rest of the paper revolted me to the core. I tore it in half, balled it up, and pitched a speedball directly into the wastebasket. Except I missed. But I didn't miss my mouth with the glass of whiskey that sat cold and assuring in my hand. That one went down smooth, a little too smooth. I decided I could go for another, but finding the office bottle empty, determined to go out for it. I ankled it over to my favorite haunt. It was a little place called The Parts. The Parts. It was 4 walls filled with smoke and lips and fists. It also had hips and a lot of scowls. Oh yeah, and they served drinks. Stiff ones. 3-fingered, doubles, triples even, or worse, or better depending on your conviction. On a good night you could get punched in the face. On a bad night you could get your heart broken into. I mean burglarized. It was dark. It had candles around so the flames could get in your eyes and dance with the liquor in your head. In the back there was a small stage. Occasionally a band would perform. Occasionally one wouldn't. It was owned by an old flame of mine, Whiskey. That was the reality of the situation. On paper it was owned by an old flame of mine.
Hi there, handsome.
Her name was Moon, Misty Moon. She wore blood-red lipstick and had tattooed tears all down her cheeks, just as frantic as freckles. Her hair fell in midnight ringlets around her pale, luminescing face, sculpted in dark waves above her icy blue eyes. Eyes that had seen it all, from sex to death and whatever comes between. I hear the French say they're the same thing, just in varying doses. I suppose they're on to something. Misty was on a lot of things. She'd had it hard, harder than bricks, harder than diamonds, though her tears shined like diamonds, and she'd come out on top. Like I said, Misty owned the place, and she owned other things too. Things indecent and decent alike. Once she had owned me.
Harvey, where have you been?
Around?
Yeah, I can see that. Around what? Or should I say, what's been around you? You don't look so hot.
No, well, you do.
Oh, Harvey, I'm not hot. I'm cold. Cold as ice. You should know that by now.
Yeah, I heard that one a lot lately. Is it me? Well, ice can burn just as bad as fire. Believe me, I should know. You burned me a few times.
Oh, Harvey, did I? Did I really?
What does a guy have to do? Cut his chest open and show a girl his branded heart?
Well, he's gotta show a girl something.
Oh, I showed her something all right.
Now, hold on a minute. What girl are we talking about here, Harvey? I suddenly feel like I've been left out in the cold. But enough about me.
There's never enough about you, darling.
Harvey, tell me all about this new girl of yours.
New girl. She ain't my girl. She's my business. They're all the same. They give you a smile and you give them your heart. You give them the time of day and they take your soul.
Your soul, Harvey. I never thought you were the sort to have one.
Sure, that's because you took it from me years ago and lost it somewhere in your purse, along with all the lipstick and bubblegum and feminine products and
The
Viber.
only thing in my purse is a brick, Harvey.
You got a drink in there for me?
Those would be behind the bar.
I'll take a white spider.
White spider. It's not exactly a man's drink.
Well, I'm not exactly a man.
You're a lot of man, Harvey.
Make it stiff.
You're stiff, too.
You know something, Misty?
Yes? Tell me something else.
Well, I'm beginning to think I'm not who I think I am.
You're funny.
Thanks.
Charming, too.
There's a lot of dead ends in this business.
Life's a dead end, at least a series of them.
Hey, chin up, buttercup. That's no way to talk.
If I knew which way to talk, you think I'd be here?
I like it here.
Sure you do. You like dead ends. They're your business.
Better than dead beginnings.
The only difference between a dead end and a dead beginning is the direction you're facing.
Quit it, you're making me dizzy.
How about if I make you that drink instead?
But the drinks make me dizzy too.
Well, you got me spinning you in one direction and the booze spinning you in the other direction. Maybe everything will come out straight.
Maybe. If you give me something to hold on to.
How about this?
She placed her hand on my chest where the heart hides. I tilted her head back and held her that way. She opened her lips and closed her eyes. I kissed her on the mouth. For a while, it was fun stuff. She smiled up at me, and real tears were welling in her eyes. They slowly filled and spilled over, running down her cheeks and filling my veins with their salty, sweet pain. I let her go. Ouch! A big meaty guy elbowed me in the back of the head as he moved to the bar.
Quit complaining, buddy. You got a problem?
His fists looked just like two big cans of ham. I don't know, do I? Why don't you tell me?
Oh, I gave up telling him a while ago. I just show him now. You want to see?
Oh, I can see just fine from here, thanks.
Oh, yeah? So what do you think?
Ugly.
I can make things a little uglier if you like.
Careful, mister. He hits hard.
Oh, yeah? Not as hard as that rusty nail you made me. I'll take another.
It don't look like you took that last one so easy. Maybe you ought to call it quits.
You're gonna get it.
It's gonna get you if you don't shut your mouth.
And while you're at it, why don't you go home, chump?
Don't call him a chump, Misty. It's an insult to chumps.
You're real rotten, you know that?
That one boiled him over. I could see him hit the roof.
Why don't you go home? And how about the lady make me my drink?
I stopped listening, so why haven't you stopped talking?
You make that one up yourself?
Nope, read it on a t-shirt.
Oh, hear that, everybody? The chump can read.
Yeah, read there.
Owie.
Oh, Harvey, you still know how to punch people.
Well, I should have shut up, but sometimes I just get so curious. I have to say one word too many.
I can solve that.
She kissed me, soft. The hard boy got up off the floor and walked out of the bar. He left his pride down there with the cigarette butts. Misty walked around to the back of the bar and made me a white spider. She made it stiff. Misty has a way of making a lot of things stiff. She made one for herself, sat down beside me, and lit a candle. That's nice. You know all the secret touches.
Not all of them, Harvey. Not anymore.
She touched my hand. I took it away. I'm sorry about those tears.
I'm made of them. It gets heavy. I just have to shed them once in a while.
I tried to take them all away once. We just looked at each other. Sometimes that's all there is. I turned my head. It was like turning your back from the whole world. It was like your heart turning in your chest till the arteries rip and there's nothing left but a husk of raw red meat. I wiped my brow with my handkerchief just for something to do.
Spit it.
It was a night just like this. And I mean just like this, exactly. only it was more hot and cold and shivery and miserable. I remember it like it was yesterday because it was just like yesterday, only it was night. I sat there at the window, peeking through the blinds, staring at the ghouls in the street as they roared their fat, heavy, empty pumpkin heads and gnashed their thick, flat teeth at the bruised, yellow, pussy sky. And that's when she walked in, or rather, floated. She floated with all the grace of a shark in a sea of seals, slow, haunting, sinister, majestic, and enchanting, and capable of snapping you in two with nautical loveliness.
She was a dish.
A girl like you.
You flatter me, Harvey. Really you do.
Not at all.
Well, you know what they say. Absence makes the heart grow shriveled up and turns it black like a raisin. Only when you chew it, it doesn't render the sweetness of a raisin. More like the dried shell of an old, dead, fat, black fly.
What is that, Shakespeare?
No, Harvey. That's life.
She tells me she was running away from home with her boo. They were delivering a package to a bar because someone paid them to do it. I went to the bar to make a summation of the case. It was shifty, and they gave me the business.
Who gave you the business?
Someone at the bar. I don't know. It was dark. Maybe you know something about this place. Let me ask you something.
You need my permission?
I need your perspective. You ever heard of a joint called the Laminator?
Harvey Lung, do not tell me that you went to the let me bite my tongue before I curse Laminator.
Sure did. What about it?
It's not a place you want to be. Bad things go down there. Not just bad. Bad. I mean bad.
Apparently it's owned by a dude named Mr. Person.
Mr. Person, yeah, he owns a lot of things. A lot of places, a lot of substances, a lot of people. He owns a club downriver called Vampire World.
I see. There's been a lot of fuzz about a crystal skull.
I'm not surprised.
What is it, Misty? The crystal skull. What does it mean?
You heard of an 8 ball of snow?
An 8 ball of snow is 3.5 grams of cocaine.
Correct. Well, if you've been hearing about a crystal skull, I wonder if you've been hearing anything about pepper.
In hot beer.
Yes. The hot beer activates the pepper. Listen to me. A crystal skull is a measurement of pepper. Pepper is a new and unpredictable narcotic. It puts the user in a state of euphoria. Side effects include drowsiness, dry eyes, and something special for the boys, genital shrinkage resulting in a high-pitched, squealy voice. And I know not what else. Trouble. Trouble, Harvey. Trouble, Harvey Lung. Trouble and danger.
I don't like it.
What do you mean?
I mean, I don't like it. When it comes to it and it comes to liking, I don't like it. The liking, that is. The liking of it.
Okay.
There's two things I can't figure. How come she said she needed money and that's why they accepted it from the pepper-drinking dingus? She should already have cash. She's
Why?
loaded, her father being the big shot that he is.
Maybe he doesn't allow her any. Maybe that's why she ran away.
She says it was for the boy.
Boys can be a lot of things, Harvey. Excuses ranking high among them.
We sat brooding.
You need a vacation, Harvey. A little fresh air.
No thanks. No thanks. No thanks. Some folks like to look at things like trees. I'll take the city with all its walls, where everyone's living in the same house with pigeons in the attic, roaches in the kitchen, rats in the basement, bed bugs in the beds, and the worst parasite of them all, humans swarming every corner. Yeah, sure, some folks like green things. Well, it's not for me. I'll take St. Louis. I like the concrete, like the grime. With that final filthy thought, I downed my drink and Misty walked me to the door. Felt good to walk beside her. Well, I guess the price of passion is pain.
You can't say hello without having to one day say goodbye, Harvey.
Goodbye, baby.
Goodbye, Harvey.